Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and I am back with another tortilla review. This one came to me from Mexico. It's called Hack the Bread. Now before I get going, I want to talk about availability on these. If you are in Mexico, these are available. That's where they're made. They're currently looking for a distributor and a distribution system here in the US and hope to have that in place by Q2. However, they are currently available on Amazon. But that won't matter if these don't taste great or if they spike my blood glucose, which is what we're going to be testing in just a minute. Now before we get going, let's take a look at the nutritional information and the ingredients. Serving size is 1 tortilla, that's 17 grams. Now for the sake of this review, I'm gonna have 2 because that's how many I had of the La Banderita carb counter. And basically they're the same weight. So I figure it's gonna be kind of an apples to apples comparison. Total fat per tortilla, 1 gram. Total carbs, 6 grams, of which all are dietary fiber, 3 grams of protein. In terms of ingredients, modified wheat starch, wheat protein isolate, cellulose fiber, wheat gluten, extra virgin olive oil, pleased to see that they're using a good oil, salt, milled golden flaxseed, baking powder, calcium propionate, guar gum, cellulose gum, natural flavors, sorbic acid, fumaric acid, enzymes, stevia leaf extract, and L-cysteine. Cysteine? I don't know how to pronounce that. So if you are opposed to any sort of wheat product or gluten, these are going to be off the menu for you. The package has instructions for cooking these 3 different ways, either on a comal or any sort of a skillet, microwave, and also deep frying. Now I'm not going to deep fry them yet. First I want to see if they impact my glucose. If they don't, then I'm probably going to see how they fry up as a taco shell. But to be consistent with the other tortilla reviews I've done, I'm first just going to see how these are straight out of the package. They are pre-cooked. The tear is identical to a flour tortilla. Other than a slight bit of sweetness from the stevia, they are essentially flavor neutral. There's not any sort of strong flour taste to them. I think I would compare it closest to Wonder Bread if you're in the United States. The second tortilla, I'm going to pop into this microwavable tortilla warmer and let these go for 10 seconds. That's what the package says. Very nice, pliable, a little bit of stretch to it. The microwaving had no impact on flavor. But like I said, if this doesn't spike my blood glucose, I think I'll also try out cooking it on a piece of cast iron as well. So I'll try doing 2 more. And as I've mentioned more than once in this video, I will be doing a blood glucose test on this. I am wearing a Dexcom G6 continuous glucose monitor, and I will be using the analysis software from Levels Health. So let's kick this off, and I will monitor my blood glucose continuously over the course of the next 2 hours, and I'll be back to show you the results. All right, it's been about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Let's see how these tortillas affected my blood glucose. Pull up the Levels software here, and not too shabby. Levels scored this an 8 out of 10. So the higher the score, the better. There was 19 points of total glucose movement, essentially a stable response. Now for the sake of comparison, let's see how the Hack the Bread tortillas compared to the La Banderita carb counter. All right, so the blue line, that is the Hack the Bread, and you can see that that is the lower line below, and the white line up above, that is the La Banderita tortillas. So in terms of tortillas, these scored pretty nicely. Nicely enough that I'll be back in a couple of days for me, instantaneously for you, and I'm going to try these out both on a skillet, just to see how they crisp up, and I'm going to put these in a taco shell holder and see if I can't make an actual taco shell out of it by frying it. I wound up taking about a month-long break in the middle of this video because Chris Castillo had asked me to hold off on releasing this until he was certain what his product distribution strategy was going to be, which I'll talk about in a few moments. But first, let me show you how these fried up. In a small cast iron skillet, I've got some avocado oil that I want to heat to between 325 and 350 Fahrenheit, and that is close enough for me. I've also got these taco shell wire sculpting devices. I'll link to those in the description below, but I will warn you, they are overpriced. Get these both into my oil, and it looks like maybe I should have gone with a slightly larger pan here. I'll cook these for about a minute and flip them over, looking very nice and golden. And after about 2 minutes, I've got my hard shells, which I'm going to let further drain on a paper towel before I plate these up. And to do that, I'm going to throw a slice of avocado or two in there. I've got some shredded pork in green sauce. Little cheese, not official Mexican cheese. And a dollop of sour cream. Then off to the table to give these a try.
Pretty good. Not as crunchy as a corn tortilla. I think probably I would stick to this unfried. But not bad.
I wound up not making any of these in the skillet because as I was frying up my shells, my wife Terry wanted the last 2 shells. In terms of frying the shells, I don't know that I would do that. It just, for me, the taste wasn't worth the extra effort, and if you're using a clean oil for your frying, like avocado oil, that gets to be kind of expensive in the keto realm anytime you're frying things up. So I probably wouldn't do that. But in terms of a straight tortilla, a soft flour tortilla, these rank up with the top tortillas that I have reviewed in terms of taste and glucose response. We'll see on price, which is the perfect segue to talk about the price and availability of these tortillas. Now, Chris Castillo, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is looking at creating a U.S. operation. And at some point then, we may see a U.S. website for Hack the Bread, and at that point, maybe I can get some sort of a coupon code. We'll come back on that one at a future date. In the meanwhile, they will be available on Amazon, both US, Amazon.com, and Amazon.Mexico, and I will include the links for both down below in the description. Now, there will be shipping. However, Chris told me that he priced out fulfillment by Amazon, so when you think you're getting free shipping, versus him shipping via DHL from Mexico, and it actually winds up costing you about $6 less to pay the shipping DHL. So that's what he's doing right now. Lastly, if you are interested in continuous glucose monitors and the Levels Health app to more closely monitor your metabolic health, I will include a link to that down below in the description as well. I hope you found this review helpful. If you did, please click that like button. If you're not a subscriber already, tap that subscribe button, then hit the bell to turn on all notifications. And I hope that at some point in March, I will do a part 4 of my Epic Tortilla review video where I tell you which are my favorites. Thanks for watching.